So any vehicle in four-wheel drive or locking the center differential only needs to lose traction on one front and one rear wheel at the same time, and you are now tractionally challenged. And that's what we're going to do with this vehicle. We're going to guide this vehicle onto the ramp. Okay, so we can get him to come on, just turn his wheels a little bit. So I'm spotting him here, so we guide the vehicle on. There we go, it's lining up nice and square. And as he drives forward, might lose a little bit of traction here. It's going. There we go, all good. Now, one of the things we teach you when you come along with the training course with this is how to guide a vehicle through difficult terrain, or even how to navigate that yourself within the vehicle. And it's really important. But when you're outside, not being able to see what's going on from the inside and someone outside guiding you, that's a great help. Now you can see here we've lost traction on one front and one rear wheel. Now this is fairly common, it's known as being crossed up, so you've got opposing wheels spinning up on the vehicle. Okay, it doesn't have to be that way, it could be two wheels on one side that are spinning. Alright, so you could drop your two wheels into a boggy rut and they'll spin up without power going to the line of least resistance. Okay, but in this situation, the most common situation is when the vehicle itself is crossed up and it won't come forward. So by engaging our air lockers, which means we've got an air compressor in the engine bay there. That's also useful for airing up your tyres when you've aired them down for the sand or bush driving. You can air them up at the end of the day, but it also means that you can engage those lockers, and we'll lock those in now. So what you'll see here is the vehicle starts driving forward even though before it had lost traction. We've now locked the axles back together across the axle, and this vehicle's now going to drive up over the ramp. All good. You see it start pulling up now. Awesome. Okay, so it's a bit wobbly up there, so you can understand that if you try to drive through that sort of terrain with speed, the effect would be to throw the vehicle over on one side. You see the vehicle suddenly lurch that way. If you do that with any sort of momentum, the vehicle's going to be on its side, either hurting you or your vehicle. Okay, so having lockers in your vehicle does mean you can drive more difficult terrain and at a more sedate rate and be in control of that. So you just ease Warren down now as he comes forward. Just keep him on those tracks nice and gentle. Beautiful. And he's got himself through that difficult situation. Okay. Now that's just one application of where you might use lockers, so on the moguls or the undulating terrain. Another application might be when we're towing a vehicle. So if we tow over soft, boggy ground, it puts more pressure on the vehicle to achieve traction, and we can sometimes need a little bit of momentum to help us through. If we spin up wheels, we lose our momentum, and that was a key part of it. So quite simply, if we drive through it, having previously engaged our lockers, we keep that little bit of momentum happening and the vehicle drives smoothly through. Just remember one thing, that your vehicle's not going to want to turn corners once all four wheels are traveling at the same rate, and that's why we always use a switchable locker. Any car manufacturer that puts them in as a factory option will always have a switchable locker, and that's no different with the ARB Air Lockers, which are an aftermarket accessory. So they're switchable, we can select when and where we use them. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Richard from Adventure Off-Road Training. If you want to grab a brochure or come and see us at all, we're good to see you, and we take you out and teach you how to get the best out of your vehicle, do it safely, get yourself there, back and safely. All right, well thanks Warren for driving over, all good. That's going to be our last one for the day, I think. There we go, he's going to wheel spin away. All good, and down he goes. Once again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.